Hi there, friend. Welcome to Gabby Likes to Read. Today I'll be going over my 2024 reading goals. But wait, before we jump into that, I do want to let you know that I will be reviewing my 2023 reading goals in another video, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Now let's jump into 2024. So first up, I decided that I'm going to be reading 60 books in 2024. I know, it's a lot of books, but bear with me. I selected 52 books for my reading goal for 2023, and spoiler alert, I surpassed that. And I decided, let me push it a little bit, just add like 8 books to the goal sheet. Yeah, and just set it there. I didn't want to push it too hard because I have a very busy 2024 planned just in the first quarter. The first 3 months are going to be wild, fun, but busy. So I wanted to give myself some grace and set a realistic goal. This is actually really exciting. I'm going to be setting a page count goal for the first time, which is going to be 32,000 pages. I know, it's a lot. I really didn't track my page count goals at all until I want to say maybe the last, 2 months of the year. And then I saw how far I got. I got way past the goal that I had initially set. And I decided, hey, why not put a goal in for 2024? I noticed that Becca from BeccaandTheBooks had done this, and she does a really good job of tracking her page count for every month. And she uses that as kind of a gauge of how well her reading month went, not just solely on the amount of books that she read, but the page count, because usually that attributes to reading a good amount of fantasy. Fantasy books tend to be at least 400 pages and more, especially nowadays. So yeah, and she is reading the Wheel of Time series as well. So that's a whole other can of worms. But anyway, so I decided that I wanted to just push myself a little bit and to see how I would do if I set a goal of 2,000 more than I had done in the previous year. Let's hope that it's not a major flop. So also in the upcoming year, I wanted to read at least one nonfiction book each month. I own a good amount of nonfiction, and I don't read as much nonfiction as I used to. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I guess I'm just reading, so I'll just take it as a good thing. Doesn't matter if it's nonfiction, fiction, doesn't matter. I definitely wanted to add more nonfiction books to my TBRs, like my monthly TBRs, because I own quite a few, and this will tie into my next goal, but I need to get my shelves under control. They're getting kind of out of control. And with that said, I decided that I wanted to put myself on not a book buying ban, but some restrictions on the books that I buy, or how many, I should say, that I buy. So I decided that I'm going to unhaul at least 3 books for every 1 book that I purchase. And then for every 5 books that I read, I can haul a book. So if I unhaul 3 books, then I can haul a book. And if I read 5 books, then I will haul a book. I just need some parameters. It kind of will help me to kind of take a step back and assess how much I'm jumping at the chance to get the next new release or the new book that I see in the store. Because, if I read 5 books and I still want to read that book, then great. But if I see a book and I read my 5 books on my shelf, I don't want that book anymore, then it'll show that I didn't really want that book in the first place. This next goal will help me to also get my shelf under control, and that is continuing to utilize my local library. If you know me, I love my local library. The selections just slap every time. So with that being said, I do want to utilize my local library more, especially in the case of, new releases, books that are outside my comfort zone, outside of my typical genre, books that were really, really hyped and I'm kind of nervous about. Any book that I'm a little nervous about, but I still want to at least give it a try, I'll just use my library because they have pretty much any book that I would want to read, and they get new releases, if not the physical copy, an ebook very, very quickly. So yeah, definitely going to be utilizing my library a lot more in 2024. I did not mean to rhyme. I'm not a rapper, I promise. Next is I want to be able to visit more independent bookstores, not just locally, but also as I travel. I really enjoy picking up a book from a local bookstore and purchasing it, knowing that I'm, helping to support my community. But I also like picking up books from bookstores in other places because it will always be like a keepsake from that particular place that I visited. For example, I picked up Charming as a Verb and Love Radio from Books and Books in Ball Harbor, and I will always remember that I got these particular books at that store. I remember going there. I remember seeing those books and like, oh yes, I can finally pick these up. I like being able to go into a store and buy them. There's just nothing that can replace that. The next goal that I have is to read more Indigenous authors. I realized as I reviewed my reading over the past few years, I just have not been prioritizing Indigenous books. And so I want to make a change in 2024 and really set that as a precedent for my reading going into the year. I read Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley and I really enjoyed it. I also purchased There by Tommy Orange. I saw a lot of great reviews from a lot of people that I trust and respect. I also know that he has a new release coming out in 2024. And so if I enjoy this one, I will more than likely pick up the other one or at least get it from the library. All right, let's jump into the readathons. So first I want to highlight Reading Everybody Black, and this is hosted by Jasmine and Charia over on Instagram. I'll link their pages down below as well as the original post that was for 2023. I really enjoy this challenge. It just encourages me to read more Black authors, and I've been able just to read a lot more books that are outside of my comfort zone, outside of my normal genre. For example, I picked up Sula by Toni Morrison, and that was primarily because I wanted to read something that was corresponding to a particular prompt. So I'm hoping to get to that one very soon before the end of the year so that I can hit all of my prompts. I really enjoy this readathon, and I do encourage you to click the links below and participate if you are so inclined. Next is TBR-thon, and this is a readathon that's hosted by Leandra, the TBR Zero, and this is a January only readathon. And again, her breakdown of her TBR-thon event is very thorough, so I'm going to link that video below as well for you to watch. But essentially, you have different game boards, different bingo boards, different worksheets, merch, all the things, and it's encouraging you just to get your TBR down to 0 as much as you can, one book at a time. Next is Read Caribbean Month, and this is hosted during the month of June by Cindy from Book of Sins on Instagram. I really enjoyed participating in 2023. I got to find out about a lot of new authors, new to me authors, and I really enjoyed myself. I love being able to find more and more authors from Jamaica, Haiti, and various other countries. And so, yeah, I had a blast, and I'm looking forward to doing it again in 2024. For those of you that don't know, I am Jamaican and my husband is Haitian. And so reading books that are not just based from people that are, I guess, first generation like I am, but also Jamaican authors that reside in Jamaica, as well as Haitian authors that reside in Haiti, really means a lot to me just for me to get that perspective. So the challenge really encouraged me to do so, and I hope that if you're interested that you will join as well. Next is Realmathon, and this is a readathon that is hosted by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. I believe this is during the month of April. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself in editing. But yeah, I believe it's a fantasy themed readathon, and it's featuring different books that have some type of kingdom, kings, queens, and the like. So that's all I know about it, but I'm looking forward to participating in 2024. And the last readathon that I would like to participate in is not a surprise to anyone that knows me well, and that is Historathon, that is hosted by Amanda from On the Middle Shelf. This is a historical fiction readathon hosted during the month of November. And yeah, I'm so excited about this. I had a great time last month doing this challenge, and it was really great. It was fun to be able to read books that are historical fiction, which is my favorite genre, but also focusing on books that I probably wouldn't have picked up otherwise if not for the challenge. I will talk more about those particular books in my wrap up. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time, and I'm looking forward to participating again in 2024. Lastly, there are 2 series that I do plan on prioritizing in 2024, and they're both kind of sort of rereads, but not quite, and I'll explain. The first is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I read the first book, but I do want to do a reread before I go into the rest of the series. I actually have acquired over the past couple of weeks the rest of the quartet. And so I want to reread book one and then hopefully finish out the quartet before the end of the year. Oh, what is it about? Laia is a servant of one of the scariest leaders in the martial empire that is occupying her homeland. And Elias is a student soldier in that same martial empire. And you follow them as they overcome plenty of obstacles, grief, hurt, and all the things. So I really enjoyed this book. I love how Sabatahir writes her characters and her plots. I hope this series does not disappoint, but I really doubt it will because I gave this one 5 stars. So next up is The City of Brass by Shannon Chakraborty, and this is book one in the Daevabad trilogy. I read this trilogy back in March and April of 2023 and absolutely love my experience with it. So I want to reread it. I want to revisit this world and do so before I get into the short story collection called The River of Silver, which features tales from the world of Daevabad. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to let me know in the comments below what some of your 2024 goals are. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like it and subscribe if you'd like to stick around and join the fam. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.